Started.
What? Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you. The reason we're so nervous is because they're filming us tonight, and then they're going to have like playback, like Saturday Night Football, and tell us what we've been doing wrong. So it's like, oh crap, they're going to be looking at me. So like I'm worried, like, do I have pizza on my face? What's going on? So our task tonight is really to tell you about what work we're working on from midterm. And what I'm doing in grad school is working on self-portraiture, which is about learning to tell your own story. And doing that, telling a story and telling it conceptually is a lot harder than I ever considered a year ago. I really thought, you know, I can take pictures, I love photography, I'm going to be able to nail this. Yeah, well, I was wrong. It is a constant struggle to be able to look at who I am and where I'm going and what I'm trying to tell through my photography and through art. It's just been a challenge. One of the things when I started looking at doing self-portraiture was, what is my story? How do you come about and learn what your story is? So what I would have experienced as a very young child and how I remember it as someone being 56 and during that time span is so different. And yet all of those childhood experiences affect who I am today, and how I do my art, and how I see the art, even see the art of others. I grew up in West Texas, in a town called Denver City, Texas, and I really do feel like West Texas had a lot to do with who I am today. The wide open spaces, the feel of the wind, the people that lived there are so different from East Texas or from the South or people from the North. I really feel like that dust storm formed me and who I am today. In grad school, we have to put together what an artist statement, so that artist statement evolves over time. So my artist statement when I started last fall is so different than my artist statement today. And as I'm even doing my work this semester, I'm seeing how I really need to narrow down my artist statement even more, because when I had the opportunity to go to Starkville, Mississippi to the SPE conference, if you're a photographer and you're even interested, I would so encourage you to go, because you have all these people that look at your work, you go to these lectures and you hear about people doing their work. And I had the opportunity for a professor from the University of Florida to look at my work, and then I had Kelly Connell from Columbia University to look at my work, and what they had to say about what you're doing and what they saw and what direction they thought you could go really impacted me and made me think about, what is my work, what am I showing to you, and where do I need to go from here? So I'm thinking probably after this semester, this artist statement will change drastically from what it is today. But I am a 56-year-old woman, not skinny. You're going to see from my work I have issues. I have lots of issues, and I'm trying to tell my issues through stories, through photographs, and mine happened to be through a skewed window. One of the people that I look at is Cindy Sherman. I have a lot of people who will immediately look at my work and talk about and refer to Cindy Sherman. And one of the statements that she made is that when you have a photograph, when you have a picture, people should be able our viewers should be able to look at it and want to know the story. So I think that's what I want you to do with mine. I want you, when you see my pictures, I want you to ask, what's the story? How did that come about? What's this all about? So I hope I am doing that. Here are some of my inspirations. one of the things that the graduate faculty does when they come and look at your work, they constantly are saying, hey, have you looked at this person? Have you looked at that person? And so as soon as they leave, I write it down and I go and look. And if you go into my office, you'll see that I have like this great big paper with just all these names of artists and photographers and poets and songwriters, all of these different people who influence my work. You know, all of these are the ones that I look at all the time and consider whenever I'm beginning a project. And that brings us to what I'm working on right now. And this, I don't know if I did not understand when I started graduate school that it's all about the conceptualization of pictures, you know, and I struggle with that all the time. And this is one of the ones that I've just been struggling with all semester. One of my stories that I remember from childhood was that when my mother would be very angry, that I would go and hide in the closet. So that was my place of refuge. That's where I would go to feel safe. But how do you do that? How do I take that picture and present that feeling and that feeling of safety to you? And I do pictures a lot. So when I first started working this project, I had a closet, and I took a picture of me in the closet. That didn't work very well. Then I decided to, well, I would read a book, and I would have a pillow, and I would have some crackers, and I would have a flashlight, and I would try to read a story. You know, but even that image does not really convey what I'm trying to show you, the viewer. Then I thought, well, what if I had a small child that looked kind of like me? What if I brought her in and I put her in the closet, you know, and took pictures of her? That still was not like where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do with this. So then, you know, it's like you can't, this is like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks worth of work of, you know, constantly trying different things, trying at different times of the day, you know, taking images from the up top, doing it at floor level, trying it at different lighting. So then I tried to bring in dolls, that perhaps maybe dolls would be the way to go. You know, and I still haven't reached it. I still have not gotten where I want to go. I don't have that feeling. Last semester, it seems like when I would have an idea, I would take that picture and it came to me like that. It's not happening this semester. It's not from the lack of trying. So then I have another project that I was also trying to do. This is from a picture that I did this summer, trying to show the feelings of abuse as a child. And I liked having the window, and the window is what I really liked, because there had to be people in my childhood who saw, who had a window into our house but didn't say anything. And so I became very interested in the window. So I changed from the white sheets to a bed cover and included the window. Still not quite what I wanted. I was going to say, let me, sorry. So I'm still working on this. I don't know where it's going to go from here either. And again, it's not the concept, it's not the feeling, it's not the message that I want to give to you, the viewer. But so I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to keep working on that one. Then I had a picture that I did this at midterm, and I did all different things to this particular image, and you know, it was like, yeah, it worked kind of, but not really. So now I'm producing a video, or producing, it's probably not the word, creating, working on, trying to learn how, to do a generative video of self-portraiture. I'd never thought about doing self-portraiture in video, and Kelly Connell, when she was looking at my pictures in Starkville, said, well, you need to go look at this guy, Lincoln Schatz. He's from the Columbia University also, and he does this generative portraiture, and went to his site, looked at it, really liked it. So now I'm learning Adobe Premiere, and I'll have it done by December 7th. Oh, God. So one of the things that I've learned that I do, and I don't mean to do it, but I seem to have like 2 or 3 different projects going on at one time, which does not work well for graduate work because they expect you to be very focused. But I have this like humorous type of pictures that I'm working on. I just thought that was so funny, the healthometer, you know, looking at that. So I'm not going to include this in my portfolio, so those of you who are faculty can take a breath. It's not going to happen, but I do find myself doing these really serious pictures, and I guess in my mind I have to do some funny ones. I don't know, but I tend to do that. This is another one. So one of the things I did not know and did not realize that we never had a family portrait. And I thought maybe just because I was the youngest child that I just didn't see it. So I called my brother and was like, "Did we ever have a family portrait?" He was like, "No, we never did." So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how do you show that you don't have a family portrait. So I started taking pictures of blank walls with a nail hoe in it, white walls. So I didn't, that didn't work out well. It's hard to take a picture of a white wall, Vaughn, from his suggestion. So now I started playing with, again, the windows, the idea that there is somebody able to look in at us, and that there was a blank wall. And then I was thinking about my father, that my father was a presence, but not a real presence in our life, and he tended to look away from what was happening. And so I put that in there. Still don't know if that's where I want to go with it, but I think this is interesting. So I already have a different setup for this to maybe take tomorrow or this weekend and continue on in exploring this. Then my last one that I'm working on is the person who did all of the makeup from my legs and from my back. She's coming back on the 24th of November, and we're actually going to do, she's going to make me up as my mother, and I have this whole series of pictures that I'm going to be working on with that and see how that comes about. So it's a process, it's a long process, and it seems like I'm taking these pictures and working as hard as I can, but sometimes I feel like I'm not going forward, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, or not being able to get the image that I should. I will say that in self-portraiture, I'm doing a lot of research toward my thesis on self-portraits and why people how people come about with these stories that as adults of things that happened to you in childhood. It's really intriguing. So it's really interesting and exciting to be able to do the research along with trying to do the actual work. And can't wait to see what I come up with next semester.